The insane true story of Joseph Massino. The insane true story of Joseph Massino, the feared chief of the Bonanno crime organization. From the underworld of the New York Mafia to surprising betrayals and unexpected government assistance, this thriller will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can you imagine a powerful mob boss turning and becoming an informant? Join us as we uncover the unbelievable secrets behind Joe Massino's life and the explosive consequences that shook the crime world forever. Joe Massino, known as the Last Dawn of the New York Mafia, got this nickname because all the other bosses of his time ended up in prison, leaving him as the last one standing. Quite a story, right? Back in 1981, the Bonanno crime family found out that Donnie Brasco, one of their soldiers, was actually an undercover FBI agent named Joseph Pistone. This revelation caused a lot of tension within the family for about a decade, but by 1991, Joe Massino rose to power and became the undisputed godfather of the family. To ensure his success and survival, Massino took extreme measures. He eliminated anyone connected to Pistone and took care of rival contenders. He was so cautious that he even banned his capos and soldiers from speaking his name. He also shut down some of the family's famous social clubs and held family meetings in secret locations, disguised as vacations. Talk about being thorough, right? For 13 years, Joe Massino enjoyed almost complete immunity, as all the other heads of New York crime families were behind bars, while he remained a free man. Quite the feat, considering the constant scrutiny they face. But then, in 2004, something unimaginable happened. Joe Massino made history by becoming the first sitting boss of a New York crime family to cooperate with the government and become an informant. It was a huge shock to everyone in the criminal world. Now, let's talk about Massino's early days. He was born in Maspeth, Queens on January 10, 1943. He didn't pursue much formal education, but he sure made a name for himself in the criminal world. His journey started when he caught the attention of the Bonanno acting boss, Philip Rusty Rastelli, around 1973. From there, he rapidly moved up the ranks to become a made man. The relationship between Massino and Rastelli had a profound impact on the fortunes of the Bonanno crime family. Massino looked up to Rastelli as his mentor and affectionately called him Unc. As for Massino himself, he earned the nickname Big Joey due to his size and reputation as a skilled criminal. Starting with a numbers and loan sharking operation out of a lunch truck, he demonstrated the key qualities needed for a successful mafia career: intelligence, the ability to make money, and a willingness to resort to violence when necessary. Moving on from his initial operations, Massino took charge of a specialized crew of hijackers, overseeing the interception of high-value truckloads. In a ceremony held at a bar in Queens on June 14, 1977, he officially became a full-fledged member of the Bonanno family, solidifying his position under Rastelli's wing. To the FBI agents who kept a close eye on him, Joe Massino came across as personable and courteous. They were impressed by his photographic memory and how he could recall details, like memorizing their license plate numbers. Despite his affable demeanor, Massino had a reputation that struck fear into the people's hearts. One of his enforcers, Raymond Ween, was so terrified of Massino that they were both arrested for conspiring to receive stolen goods from a truck hijacking. Ween refused to cooperate with the authorities out of sheer fear. As a result, Massino was acquitted in that case. When Rastelli was sent to prison in the late 1970s, Massino became his trusted messenger within the mafia. During this time, the dangerous Carmine Galanti was causing problems by considering himself the new boss and trying to take control of the family's heroin business. Rastelli, using Massino as his intermediary, lobbied the Commission of New York's 5 families to authorize Galanti's murder. The commission agreed, and Galanti was subsequently killed in the back of a restaurant in Bushwick, Brooklyn in July 1979. The murder of Carmine Galanti didn't lead to unity within the Bonanno family. Instead, it caused a rift that resulted in the formation of 2 rival factions. By 1981, the family had split into 2 groups. On one side were the captains who remained loyal to Rastelli, with Joe Massino among them. On the other side, a splinter group formed, consisting of 3 disgruntled captains, Al, Sonny Red Indelicado, Dominic Big Trin Trinchera, and Philip Philly Lucky Giacone. Things escalated when Massino learned that the 3 dissatisfied captains were arming themselves. He took this information to the Commission, the governing body of the New York Mafia families. Their response was straightforward: protect yourselves, do what you gotta do. Massino decided to organize a peace meeting at an after-hours club on May 5, 1981, but it was, in fact, a setup to eliminate the rebellious captains. Massino relied on the mob's unwritten rule that weapons were not allowed at such meetings. Additionally, he made sure that 2 neutral captains were present to avoid raising suspicions. However, the 3 captains, upon their arrival, were taken to a back room of the club where Massino's shooters ambushed and killed them. One of Rastelli's high-ranking captains, Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano, wanted to involve an associate named Donnie Brasco in the plan, but Massino vetoed the idea. He had suspicions about Brasco and warned his crew to stay away from him. Massino's instincts turned out to be correct. Donnie Brasco was actually Joseph Pistone, an undercover FBI agent who had infiltrated the Bonanno family in 1977. After the successful hit on the 3 captains, Joe Massino's reputation within the family grew even stronger. However, there was a slight hiccup when the body of Sonny Red was discovered a few days later in an area called The Hole, which was a low-lying, frequently flooded area located on the border between Brooklyn and Queens, and contained several vacant lots. In July 1981, the FBI pulled Joseph Pistone, known as Donnie Brasco, out of his nearly 6-year undercover operation, creating another problem for Joe Massino to handle. Capo Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano had vouched for Brasco and even considered him for Mafia membership, which was a serious security breach within the organization. As a result, Massino ordered Napolitano's murder, seeking retribution for the Donnie Brasco situation. About a year later, heavy rains exposed a shallow grave, which was later confirmed to be Napolitano's resting place. Joe Massino's rise through the ranks of the Mafia was impressive. By 1982, he had become the recognized underboss of the Bonanno family and was effectively their leader. He went into hiding in Milford, Pennsylvania, pending an indictment. In 1987, he was found guilty of racketeering charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison, but he managed to escape conviction for the murder of the 3 rival captains due to a statute of limitations technicality. In 1991, after the death of his mentor Rastelli, Massino officially became the boss of the Bonanno family. Under Massino's leadership, the Bonanno family became the most powerful crime family in New York and regained their seat in the Mafia Commission. Despite their earlier mistake with Donnie Brasco, the Bonannos remained the only New York Mafia family that had never had a member become an informant or government witness. However, in 2002, 2 captains broke that streak and entered the Witness Protection Program. Subsequently, an FBI investigation focused on Joe Massino, specifically targeting his financial activities. Joe Massino's downfall came on January 9, 2003, when he was arrested as part of a massive RICO indictment, which included charges related to the 1981 murder of Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano. His brother-in-law, Salvatore Vitale, who was also indicted, decided to cooperate with the authorities and testify against Massino. This sparked fear among other Bonanno family members that they could be implicated in past murders, leading to further defections. Facing another indictment for 7 additional killings, Massino was found guilty on all counts on July 30, 2004. Fearing the death penalty, he took a shocking step for a mafia boss. He decided to cooperate with the government. This made him the first sitting boss of a New York crime family to become an informant in history. With the information provided by Massino, the FBI located the bodies of the other 2 renegade captains who were murdered in 1981 in an area known as The Hole. Massino pleaded guilty to an 8th murder charge in 2005 and received 2 consecutive life sentences. He later testified against Vincent Brasciano, the acting boss of the Bonanno family, in 2011. While in prison, Massino had planned to record Brasciano confessing his intent to have a prosecutor killed. However, instead, Brasciano ended up admitting to ordering the murder of another Bonanno associate in 2005. During his testimony, Massino revealed that he had given up $12 million as part of his cooperation agreement with the government. In June 2013, at the age of 70, Massino was resentenced to time served and placed under supervised release for the rest of his life. truth. By that time, the once powerful Bonanno family had suffered greatly from government defections, and the worst defection of all was that of their once untouchable boss, Joe Massino. His cooperation had deeply impacted the criminal organization he had worked so hard to rebuild. That's all for the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insane stories.